Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today's episode we are going to be going to the Grand Canyon. Well, the Spanish Grand Canyon. And I suppose that's like saying I've gone to Disneyland, but I'm really going to Paris Disneyland. But anyway, you get what I mean. Cue the intro. Well, it's not like I'm a slob in any way at all, like I've just dumped everything down knowing that I'm only here for one night. But I know what I need to do now is put the batteries in the cameras, get them set up, get on the bike, and then we can head off to, in theory, the best Grand Canyon in Europe. I've checked out of the hotel, the bike's now got a full tank of fuel, so today should be good. So I stands up, let's go. I've got my tour guides in front again. Lovely. But yeah, I enjoyed staying at the monastery last night. I've got to say, it was very, very posh, and I mean very, very lordship posh. And it had its own chapel and stuff like this, and my dad was going to get converted to a monk. It was all going really well, he was having a good time, and then they said to him that you can't drink alcohol other than on a Sunday, and it's basically red wine. And then he said, well, can I taste it, see if I like it, please? And they looked at him all gone out, and he said, well, I am a British lord. He says it's got to be of good quality. And they just said to him, no. And they did, like, rejected him, denied him, and he was quite upset about it because he thought he was getting a free glass of wine. But there you go. So anyway, we are heading now to the Grand Canyon. I have no idea how far it is. I'm not going to put it in my sat nav. I am just following the black Renault in front, and when we get there, we get there. But the scenery's already looking fantastic. Oh, I feel really like Spanish because I spent an evening in like a very sort of traditional Spanish bar, and I had a lovely pizza in there, and it's cheap. I've got to say, Spain is for food and drink and that, it's cheap. France, it's really expensive. Here, it's like, I couldn't believe it. This is how cheap it was. I was sat there with my dad and my stepmom. The bill came, and I actually offered to pay, and I felt good because it was cheap. Anyway, we're gonna poodle along. I mean, again, we've already got pretty mountains in front of us. Obviously, this whole region it's the Pyrenees. It's mountains. It's gorgeous, but it's just lovely to wake up in the morning, jump on the bike, and the first thing you see is, like, you know, it's mountains and the greenery and the colours. It's just, honestly, it's spectacular. Oh, perfect. Anyway, back to the task in hand. Yeah, so we're going to head up there. Like I've already said, it's very much going to be a potential to see how close I can get. If there is no buses because it's out of season, or we can't hire a four before, or we can't hire somebody that's willing to sort of carry me all of the way, then potentially I will try to get as far as I possibly can, even if that's on foot, and then potentially I can send my drone quite a big distance and hope that it makes it back on a single battery life to capture it, because I've come a long way to see the Spanish Grand Canyon, equal to Paris Disneyland. So it's, you know, this is what we're here for. So fingers crossed we can get there, but we'll see if we need to hammer down some miles. I have no idea how far I'm going. I don't really have any idea where I am really in Spain, other than I'm in the Pyrenees. It's a pretty big place, but who cares? That's all part of the adventure. I'm here, we're doing it. Let's see some of the most stunning Grand Canyons in the way, and of course anything worth me stopping for, I'll stop for and grab on camera for us as well. Obviously I could just leave the camera rolling and tell you how pretty it is all the way, but I'm sure you've had enough of me telling you, oh, look at this. It's probably going to happen again. Anyway, let's hack down some miles. where we're shortly going to be arriving at Torla Ordesa. I still don't know what I'm saying, right or wrong. None of it matters. So Torla Ordesa, whatever. We're shortly about to arrive there, and it's just pretty, beautiful prettiness. Lots of mountain passes again as you go up to get towards there. Breathtaking, purely breathtaking. So not very much further to go, but hey, more postcode vision, more place of dreams to ride, to be fair. The tarmac, majority of the time, has been absolutely fantastic. Again, sort of sports bike tarmac. Bits like this, it's a bit more breaky up, a bit more rubbish. Probably better suited for things like the Himalayan and sort of Tiger and stuff like that, for that little bit more comfortable ride. But here we go. It's Torla Ordesa. I bet that's still wrong. Lovely villages and breathtaking stuff. To be fair, right now I could really do with a nice coffee. Sit down, chill out and grab a nice coffee. Oh, looks like that what we might be doing. This is the parking. Oh, good. Doesn't look very open. It's not very open at all. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. If it's not open, then I'll build a ramp and I'll just take off the edge and I'll land somewhere down in there. Nothing would go wrong at all in any way. We've arrived at the entrance, well, the village to the beginning of it, and it looks really, really close. It's massively out of season. It's like middle of the week, isn't it? So I'm going to have a walk around, check out the village, send up the drone, see if I can get any closer at all to seeing this spectacular place. But so far it looks really pretty. The car park's massive. Obviously hardly anybody's here because it quite clearly is all closed off. But let's go and explore. Clearly it's very, very close, but this whole region here is the place where you can get sort of 4x4s and you can get a bus sort of journey that takes you a little bit more in for you to sort of go for some of the trekking walks and stuff that you'd like to do. But it's massive. I mean, that is absolutely huge. I'm going to have a look, see how much of it I can see, but I have a feeling I'm going to be a little bit disappointed and not be able to show you it properly, because if I could hire a 4x4 right now to get us there, it's exactly what I'd do. So we thought it was closed and we checked out here and it looks like it's all closed down, the whole place. We couldn't find a coffee or a bar or anything like that open. But then we found out that the information centre was open, and what they've told us to do, we believe, because there's no buses running, is drive up to here, Perdido or something like that, and then from there you can then walk along the canyon and then walk as far as you like along the canyon. It can be around 1 mile or so. So we're going to go and check this out, maybe do a little bit of walking and hopefully capture some of that more footage. But the plus side of it is we've not just come all this way to find out that we can only go to here, because that's what I thought just happened. I was like, we've just driven away from France to here, stayed over to find that we can't see it. But it looks like we can. So we're going to jump in the car and we're going to head up to here and see what we can find. We've taken the car up quite far. It's got quite narrow and the roads are getting quite bumpy, and we might be a little bit lost yet again. But we've pulled over and there's a fantastic sort of river waterfall going on in the background. But it's just beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. So it's another opportunity to send the drone up and just see what we can see from here, because this might be it. This could be the only bit that we're going to be able to capture. So let's send it up and let's just see again the vastness and the beauty that this has to offer. just wow. I'm sure you can agree that that is just something out of this world, and I'm so lucky to be here. Now we are at the face, on the sort of the bottom part of Mount Perdido, what sounds like dildo, so just class this as Mount Dildo. So we've just seen the Grand Canyon of Mount Dildo, and it's mind-blowing, but this looks like as far as we're able to go at the minute, and it's already going into the afternoon, I kid you not. So we're gonna have to start heading back, but just how amazing is that? Well, I've just got back to the manor, and what we did, we set off from Spain, and it's a long way. I don't know exactly how many kilometers it is, but so I'm going to make it up and say like 1 million, because that's what it felt like. Because about halfway back, I was zinging down beautiful country Spanish roads, and then it just started raining and wrenching it down, and I was almost dressed as I am for the perfect weather. And then I've sort of ridden back probably 2-ish hours in the chucking it down rain. But I was still smiling, I was still giggling, because it's still so much fun. Even those sharp bends and the chucking it down rain, I still had a giggle. It's been fantastic. But anyway, tomorrow is my actual final last day here of riding, the last sort of day in the Pyrenees. So I need to go inside, dry off, and make the most epic plan for, it has to be the most epic ride. So see you then. Bye bye for now.